No.
There
it is.
Okay.
Jessica? Oh, yes.
Hello, we're the Hot Mamas, as you know. And we're reporting about our simulation. Behind us, we have all the different things we'll be discussing that kind of went hand in hand with the simulation. I am Hot Mama number 1, Taylor Jackson.
I'm Hot Mama number 2, Jordan Rowe.
I'm Hot Mama number 3, Tori Buckley.
I'm Hot Mama number 4, Lauren Farkas.
Number 5, McKenna Biddle.
And I'm Kayla, the hottest of the hot mamas.
There you go.
And so overall, our group worked really well together, which was really cool to work with such wonderful ladies. And something that's like really unique about our group is that we are all women, and so there really weren't any gender differences, which I think really helped our group. There was no kind of like alpha male character. And there was like no competition to try and be a leader. We all kind of had our own like strengths and used them best at different times. So that was a really cool thing. And then we also, so then within the simulation, each of us had our individual goals and then our own, and then like an overall goal as a team. And so we, before anything started, we talked about like the group goals, and then we talked about our individual goals, and a lot of us had clashing goals. So it was impossible to do the simulation without, or with everyone getting all their goals met. But between each camp, we talked about like what would be best for each individual person and like their goals to achieve them.
If one of us had a goal that we could all, like I had a goal that we all had to stay at camp, the same camp for one night, so I could do some kind of medical research, and we weren't able to complete that goal, but we tried to, and that was the thing that mattered, is that we tried to accommodate for everybody's goals the best that we really could.
And what was really nice too is that in between going from one camp to another, like we all kind of maybe agreed and disagreed on some things based on what our goals were. But it was nice because like within the dissent and debate, we were able to propose different alternatives, and even if we didn't all agree on one goal, we were still able to move on when the majority of us kind of agreed that this would be the best option for all of us.
Yeah, and while all those things were great, we had trouble with the hidden decision-making trap of anchoring, and we put disproportionate weight on the first thing that happened. So when one of them, or Jordan, got sick, we gave her, no, I didn't. You gave her the inhaler, and she got better by the next round. So then when everybody else got sick, we thought they'd get better by the next round right away, and they didn't. And a lot of us died. So it didn't majority.
And on top of anchoring, we had some cost too, because I know from the very beginning, like our main goal was to try to get to the top. So I was the first one to die because I just kept going instead of like thinking maybe I could die because I was sick.
I don't know if we died or if we
we made it rescue.
Yeah.
Before we got that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we estimated and forecasted that we would all get to the top. We all had very high hopes for each other. We quickly learned that we weren't going to get to the top due to some wrong forecasting by our environment, or what we do for our
Marathon runner. Yeah, she was
marathon runner.
I was supposed to estimate.
Yeah, she was supposed to tell the forecast, and that did not happen very well. But that's okay. We got some frostbite, but there was one really bad day of weather.
Really. But with all that being said, like no matter the issues that we faced, we always like came together and laughed about it rather than like just getting discouraged with one another. We injected humor rather than getting mad at each other. And that goes along with just being comfortable because we are a group of girls and it was easy to connect and make good decisions and not judge and so on.
Yeah, like I felt like we just had a really good relationship with each other. So if one of us had an idea and someone else had like an idea that went against it, it wasn't like, oh my god, it's because it's me. It was just like, okay, well, we just have different ideas, and it was easy to move forward.
Mm-hmm. If someone needed help making a decision, like when to medicate people and that kind of thing, it wasn't only solely based on me. Like I had my group members to back me up and help me make my decisions and that kind of thing.
Yeah, like when we were deciding who to cure for like low oxygen and stuff, we all came together and made a good decision. But that kind of backfired on us when
Does that make it stop?
No, I'm so good.
Green lights on at the top. It's so good.
But we got to like, we decided who was going to get the oxygen, and then that backfired on us, but we just kept going on. And eventually we all got rescued because it didn't work out.
And like one thing too with estimating and forecasting, I feel like we didn't really estimate the amount of oxygen we were gonna need for all of us, so we didn't really get like as much as we really needed, and that's why some of us got really bad maybe altitude sickness.
Yeah.
So maybe like if we were to go back and do it, we could like readjust that and just get more oxygen for us.
If we were to go back and do it, I want to be a part of it.
Oh
Yeah,
The
you
observer kind of blows. I didn't do anything. I observed your communication skills, and I thought they were great. But I think I could have made it.
Also, I feel like we were really good at like discussing what everyone else's goals were and
Yeah,
like
I
how
was
we could
yeah.
complete as many as possible.
Yeah.
You know?
I was a photographer, so I like had to stay at camps 1 and 2 for like 2 nights. Obviously that couldn't happen
Right.
to make it up to the summit.
Right.
But like I asked if I could stay like 1 day behind you guys on the first, and like you guys were all chill with it.
Right.
And then like you forgot that you also need to be photographed.
Yeah, well, okay, so I think both of us kind of need to be photographed.
Yeah, right.
We were
But
both,
we both were gonna get added on like big gigs.
yeah,
if
money.
Right.
And that thing, yeah. And it was hard too. Yeah, and it was hard too because like so you had the goals of like, being in 2 different locations overnight twice, but like I had the goal of making sure everyone got to the top, and like that obviously wasn't gonna happen if everyone had their own different goals and.
I think having the different goals that they gave us, and it obviously not being able to work, really like tested our communication skills, how we could try and accommodate for everybody's goals, and just tested like how we would be able to work as a group to make those decisions and that kind of thing.
The other thing is that like obviously this is simulation, so we weren't truly like completely
About to
invested in
die.
all of our goals.
Yeah.
But like it did like start like the mental process of like, okay, well I want to stay here for another night, but like everyone else kind of needs to keep going, and like you need to make sure everyone gets there. So
And I think it's impossible for everyone to make it to the summit and complete all their goals anyways.
oh
Yeah.
So that's
yeah. Which is a lot like life.
Well, like life communication, you know, real life stuff.
But overall, it was a good experience.
Yeah, it was a really
I'd
good
say.
opportunity.
So,
It was cool to think about like the cause and effect of what our actions would do from one mountain to the other, and or one camp to the other. If you were gonna stay back at one, the effect that was gonna have on not just you but the group that you were traveling with and that kind of thing.
And I was a day behind them, but I got sick and I needed to be with the physician. So like, then I needed to catch up with them before I got sick.
But it was hard to accomplish the goal of not getting frostbite. I think that was a commonly
Yeah.
shared goal between all of us.
Right.
But there was nothing you could do because it was such
It was just
awful
like natural.
weather.
Right.
Yeah.
It was also interesting how some people didn't have the goal to get to the top of the mountain.
Yeah,
Right.
So that helped their like decision making in the beginning because they really didn't need to get, or their goal didn't say they needed to get to the top of the mountain. So it helped their decision making process go a lot easier. And
which strangely I didn't have to get there, but I did.
yeah,
Oh.
getting rescued was actually such a bummer. I was like,
Yeah.
dang it, I wanted to make it to the top.
It was kind of fun seeing like the helicopter and seeing which one they're gonna take.
Yeah. Suspenseful. Yeah.
But I feel like it was good we didn't like blame anyone, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. None of us pointed fingers.
Yeah.
Because like we all made the decision as a group, so
Right.
we really couldn't have been one
Right,
person's
exactly.
fault. Like we all decided who to give medicine to.
Yeah.
and-
Got some help.
And we all talked for a while before making your next decision.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you each talked about your own personal thing too, and then our whole group.
Yeah, and whatever they gave us before we climbed to the next camp, since it was all different, we all went through and read it, and then we shared.
Yeah.
And some of the things that like one person had in their review helped another person make their decision,
Right,
and that
Yeah.
So like we were able to relate to each other while we were climbing.
Yeah, we were able to like take a lot of things in perspective of what was going on like in the real life situation before
Right.
really deciding what to do next.
As the observer, did you like feel left out of the communication process?
No, like because I feel like I still interjected and be like, well, she needs 2 nights too, but like I kind of wanted to make my own decisions. But I mean, it was cool. I didn't feel left out.
That's good.
You included me.
Yeah, I think that overall this group was like such a good group to work with. We really worked well together.
Us hot mamas and